I would like to demonstrate my reverence in acknowledging the Yukambhi people who are the traditional custodians on the land on which I stand, elders past, present and emerging. I would also like to extend that respect to all other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples upon this great land which we all stand. My everyday environment is a suburb of Upper Coomera located north of the Gold Coast. According to an early historian, the name Coomera originated from Coomera Coomera, the Aboriginal word for a native species of wattle. However, in a neighbouring dialect, Coomera means blood or vein and refers to the flowing river, the life source of the surrounding lands. I would have loved to have seen this area before colonisation in its raw, untouched state instead of the masses of houses now. Coomera is also to many people known as Australia's theme park capital. Within kilometres, Wet n Wild, Movie World and Dreamworld. Out of these three international and national destinations, only Dreamworld has an area or attraction, if you will, designated to the Indigenous people of this land known as the Corroboree. Most of my engagement with Indigenous Australians was on a remote Northern Territory cattle station called Lake Nash. I was fairly disappointed that in the big smoke their culture had been melted down to a theme park attraction, so I vaguely knew much of the Corroboree prior to my investigation. I had never visited, and I believe this was due to ignorance. As an Australian, I had already seen a kangaroo and koala and thought it mostly for tourists. Somewhat disgusted at the possibility that a popular theme park could do this to a culture and treat it as a moneymaker, throw a boomerang in with the kangaroo, and charge overseas visitors who are more innocently ignorant than us for pictures. I began to ask myself questions encompassing the appropriateness and morality of the attraction. Is this the only gift shop in Dreamworld centred around Aboriginal art? This attraction, like our history, is hidden right at the back of the theme park, when a white colonial-based attraction, Gold Rush, is based at the forefront. Is this artwork even genuine or significant? Are we as white Australians still keeping the Indigenous people with the flora and fauna? These thoughts would not have entered my mind prior to commencing the First Australians program, and at this stage of my journey I wasn't quite sure whether my aggressive emotions were aimed towards Dreamworld or to myself. However, I was pleasantly surprised as I went through the Corroboree area animal gates, and after a little inspection I began to open my mind and take in and learn. The Dreamworld Corroboree is an interactive walkthrough experience celebrating Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture. The attraction was 7 years in the making and was created with invaluable assistance and approval from 51 individuals and 22 Indigenous tribes. A recreated Humpty full of information, history and activities, native wildlife with stories attached to them and cultural demonstrations. The artwork showcased throughout the area was commissioned by an Indigenous artist. I was lucky to have had a conversation with an Indigenous employee on their thoughts. One comment gave rest to some of my previous negative thought processes. They said, "It's amazing. I get to work alongside the animals that I am spiritually connected to. All day I am surrounded by my culture and heritage, and I get to share that and teach it with others. I am sincerely grateful for my newfound knowledge and experiences in relation to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. Thus I find it sad and despondent that there is no other obvious evidence of the local Indigenous culture left in my immediate environment." The meaning of the painting on my daughter's arm gave rise to goosebumps. This is your path, these are your footsteps, and this is your family, past, present, and future. I'd like to believe that this relates not only to blood family, but also as a representation of community and culture.